since we've gone over some of the basic tools I like to use, let's go ahead and start building our card holder. To start, I'm going to go ahead and hold the left button down here from the ruler. I'm going to bring a guideline down and then set Y value here to 10 millimeters. And that's going to put the line 10 millimeters from the top. Then I'm going to go ahead and create a rectangle with a dimension of 104 to 75 to create the base of my wallet. And then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to center that. Well, that's missing a stroke, so let's go back and fix that there. Align it. We'll go and just center that there. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in another rectangle. We're going to create the bottom. And what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and bring it here and align it that way. For good measure, I can go ahead and make sure that they are aligned at the bottom and also centered. I prefer to have a specific distance for my pockets. So I'm going to bring another guideline down. We're going to bring it to the top of that line. Since it's 33 millimeters is the location, I am going to bring it 11 millimeters in between that pocket and the T pocket. So that would be 22 there. So there's going to be exactly 11 millimeters there and 12 millimeters there. I'm going to copy this rectangle. We're going to then Control-Shift-V, and it's going to copy in place. We're going to bring that rectangle right up to that line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control-Copy, Control-Shift-V again, but this time around I'm going to make a copy, a duplicate of the base. Now, if I hold Shift while I'm moving, I can actually move it in line with my original image. Bring it down there. All right. Make sure everything is still centered. It doesn't look like it's centered. There. So it was not centered. So let's go and center everything again, just to make sure for good measure. All right. So it is centered. Now, I'm going to actually use this to create my T pocket. For the most part, I do not need this base wallet there, but I'm going to go ahead and keep these two pockets to start. First off, I did get this idea from STR Handmade to eliminate for slot gap. He likes to overlap his pockets by creating 45-degree angles cut from the bottom of the T pocket and the top of the next pocket, and basically overlaps them to create a single line. Now, to be able to represent that, you have to also be able to draw that here in Illustrator. What I'm going to do is, let's see here, this is at, it's not a whole number. Let's go ahead and move that a little bit so that this is at a whole number. I'll move that to, let's say, 140, so it'll bring everything down. So let's see here, 119.5. Let's bring it down a little bit more. Let's see if I can get that aligned to a whole number. Okay, there we go, 120. The reason why I do that is to make sure that it's easier for me to set guidelines instead of having to deal with decimals. For me, I'd like to go ahead and create a 3 millimeter gap in between the two pockets. So from 120, I'm going to bring it down here. We're going to set that to 123. Then what I'm going to do is, since I do not need the outer pocket anymore, I'm going to go ahead and delete that, get rid of that altogether. We're going to use my pen tool. Oh, before that, let's go ahead and do this here. Keep missing steps, going ahead of myself. I'm going to create a guideline in the center. I'm going to select it all, align it to the center. Use my pen tool. I'm going to start from here, and I'm going to go, let's say, about 8 millimeters to create my initial flap, and then I'm going to go all the way down, go about there, 39.96, then go across and intersect with the center. Now we're going to then click on the selection tool. If you've noticed, it's missing a stroke, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure it is stroked. Usually when you do a guideline, it does eliminate the stroke setting, so you just make sure that that is set. That is going to be your T-pocket start in every T-pocket. We're going to click on that shape, Control Copy, Control Shift V, and it's going to paste the same exact shape in the middle, in the center where it's at. Go right click it, go to Transform, and we're going to reflect it. Now here you can actually preview how it's actually reflecting. Push OK. And then we're going to go ahead and move this. You see the shape here, and we're going to move it to the other side, and we're going to intersect it there. Oh, that didn't work. Oops, I did not reflect it correctly. See, so we're going to Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. We're going to reflect it again. We're going to actually reflect it vertically. So then you see how the shape does match up correctly. We're going to intersect the points there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take those two. We're going to select the first one, hold Shift, and select the second one. And then we're going to group them together. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to select that line that we just created along with the box. And then what we'll do is we're going to go and use something called Pathfinder. This is one way of eliminating specific shapes, just like we did with the shape builder. I like to go ahead and use something called Divide. We're going to go ahead and click on Divide. And basically what that does, it divides portions of the shape from the two shapes. You're going to click on the Direct Selection tool, and you're going to go ahead and click on the shape that you want to delete, which is that one. I want to delete that one there. And you see how it's able to select specific lines and delete them. And now, voila, we have our wonderful T-pocket. If you go ahead and select this there, that has now become its own shape. So you can literally Control C, Control V, and you realize that it actually created that T-pocket shape, and you can put it right here. You can see that it lines up at the bottom of that original T and the top of that original T. So we have the T-pocket there. Now, in terms of stitch lines, I do prefer a 3 millimeter offset, and we will go into that here in a little bit, but let's go ahead and make sure everything is set up first. I'm going to go ahead and delete. Look at the bottom pocket here, not delete. We're going to Control Shift V, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my bottom pocket down. So we have the bottom pocket for our template. All right. Now, since we've got everything set up, we may end up modifying some of this here in a second. And I do a lot of redundant steps, so please don't mind me. But since we've got all of our pockets set up now, what we're going to do is we're going to go into stitch marks. That's going to be in the next part of the video.